Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, we have new episodes coming out every Monday and Thursday. Let's get into it.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
Man, thank you for having me
Oh no, thanks for being
in
here,
your
bro.
place. We're starting a little late because I was looking through your
Yeah, we were looking
your
at
book.
At the museum.
And everyone can kind of see your art behind us. It's better than we were over there, but no, it's an honor, man. Thank you for real. Oh, I didn't know what to do.
No, you're good.
And we got a guest.
Yo, Shay, say what's up?
Is Shay an anxious dog, or is she?
No, she's definitely an anxious dog.
She's like
She's gonna be shivering the entire time.
you're like her. You have a vest that you have to wear when you guys go out in public. You're her mental health.
So-
Your
something
mental
like that.
health pet. What are
Something
those
like that.
called? But anyway, we were starting before you were telling me the story about you're on a plane and the flight attendant asked to buy your artwork, and that was the first time you realized you could like make money off of your art.
Yeah, that was back in 2010.
You graduated college at that point?
I know I had dropped out. I dropped out at that time.
Okay.
This was during a little after the recession. Everybody was getting laid off. Work was a little crazy. It was difficult to find work at that time period. I had lost my home at that time. My mother had recently passed away, and the house went into foreclosure. So it was just it was a crazy time period. So I had this opportunity to just take off, just ride out. And I remember I got upgraded to first class. I'm over here like, yo, like what the fuck's happening? I'm on my way to Japan, and the flight attendant, she sees me working on a couple ink drawings, and she just comes over and just offers to buy it. Like, yo, how much? And I'm like, how much? Nah, you're tripping. Like, here, this is yours. You could have it. But when I got back, immediately I started working on developing a website and figuring out a way to capitalize off of these opportunities, off of these designs.
What's the timeline? And I don't mean to like get into like we don't have, but like the timeline of like your mother passing, dropping out of school, going on this trip.
I want to say it was a matter of this was 2000. Mom passed away 2006. It was probably 2009, 2010.
Okay.
What
What was your path before all that?
Before that, I was going to school for architecture and structural engineering.
That's what you wanted to do?
That's what I
Be
wanted
an
to
architect.
do. I had the opportunity to work at this major engineering firm based out of Canada, and they worked on the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa.
Oh, in Dubai?
In Dubai.
Yeah.
The new Yankee Stadium, Petrona Towers, a couple projects down here in Miami as well. So
How did you
it was
get
a really
that?
dope opportunity.
How did you get that? That's a big
I was
opportunity.
printing my architectural portfolio at Kinko's. And
the funniest start to the story.
crazy story. So I'm printing my portfolio out. This British gentleman walks up to me, and he's just like, "Hey man, are you looking for a job?" I pause. I look around. I'm like at Kinko's, and I'm like, nah, not at Kinko's, man. I'm good. And he's just like, no. He handed me his business card. I went to check out the facility they were building out in Miramar, Florida, and it was probably one of the best jobs I ever had.
Who was that guy?
His name was Mark Chatton. I don't know what he's up to now, but
You just
Mark,
worked
if you're out there and you see this, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Thank you.
That's so fun. That's why, like, I'm happy I got to hear that. And that's why I laughed at the Kinko's shit and the you being in first class, just getting upgraded, is because that's how that shit happens. Like, just
yeah.
randomly, like when you're trying and you're not pushing for your path. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
those two opportunities that changed your life weren't things that you were looking
I feel like
for.
the universe definitely conspires to help you achieve what you want to achieve as long as you're working on the task. You know what I mean?
So you got the job there.
I got the job as a junior architect,
Okay.
and then I was there for a little while.
You never
Recession
wanted to be
hit.
an artist, like
I did, but I was raised in a hardcore Latino household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit made no money. Like for everybody, it's just like, no, there's no future in that. And it wasn't until I got older and I realized, like, yo, wait a minute, like, how the fuck do they know? Nobody has ever embarked on this journey. So for them to tell me there's no future in it, it's just, I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. So I just went for it. I rebelled a little bit and just went for it.
Why did you go on that trip?
On that trip?
Or the trip to your, like,
it was just an
or to
opportunity.
Japan, I mean.
It was an opportunity to really kick it with my old man. My old man really wasn't in the picture for a very long time. He lived in Colombia most of the time. That's a different story, but we'll get to that eventually. We'll get to that one day. So it was just an opportunity to ride out, not spend the holidays back home after. This was right after my brother had passed away. So it was an opportunity to really just mend a couple things with him, and just explore and do epic shit.
And that was the flight?
That was a flight. Yeah, that was a flight.
Do you ever think about if you never did that? Like if you never tried to amend with your dad?
Oh man, I probably would have. I don't know, man. I probably would have continued architecture.
But I mean, I don't mean to, but that is crazy.
No, it is crazy. It is crazy
because you made the conscious decision to mend or like to do things which I've had to do, which everyone has to do. Yeah, exactly. I think in their life is mend relationships, maybe like
absolutely
not everyone, but with their parents. If you have like something against them, and if you don't mend that, but you made that decision, you get on the plane, it changes your life and brings you to where you are now.
Absolutely.
Not that it's that easy of a line, but
no, it wasn't easy at all, but it was definitely worth it.
Was he in first class too?
Hell yeah, he was in first class.
So he saw this happen.
He saw this entire shit happen. Like,
what did he think when he saw that?
I remember looking over and like in the beginning, you know, they give you the little hot towel to like rinse your face and like clean your hands. And then this lady's just walking around passing champagne. I look over to my old man. I'm like, yo, is this covered? And he's just like, yeah, it's covered. I'm like, I'll take two. You get two of those. So it was a good time, man. It was definitely.
But I mean, when she offered to buy your art and you just gave it to her, did he like? What did he? Did you talk about that? Did he see that? Like,
so my old man now, he's been very influential. He's been my mentor throughout this journey, as far as when it comes to closing deals, when it comes to generating sales. You know, he's always been that go-to guy for advice. So you know, it was definitely a learning experience. He's always like, yo, why are you giving shit away? And I'm like, yo, Dad, it's part of it, man. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process. So we bump heads a lot when it comes to that. But
that's good that you have the business relationship with
yeah, definitely.
And a personal one on that. But of course. I was asking because you were saying that growing up, your household wasn't
growing up. It wasn't
rough, for the art. Like it
wasn't for the art, but you know, you walked into my bedroom. There was murals on the wall. There was all types of shit going on. Like art was always a huge part of my life. It's where I spent most of my time.
And then you were saying that you went on another trip to Europe. That was the trip to Europe that you started getting inspired.
I was going to Europe every summer. I would take off to Europe for 2-3 months, just country hop, attend different workshops, attend different go to different galleries, different viewings, different shows. I went to Sotheby's and in London, and that experience changed my life completely, bro. I literally saw two. No disrespect to the artist, I have no idea who the artist is, but I saw two beer cans just smashed up together and placed in like a plexiglass case, like a glass case. And this shit auctioned off for 25,000 pounds. And when I saw that, I'm like, all my prices, I'm raising everything. Just, I don't know. It was definitely an eye opener to see like what is out there and what is possible, especially in this art space. in the fine art space.
Yeah.
Particularly.
How does one become like, how do you then go from, oh, I can make money from this to like becoming an artist?
Oh man. I mean, I guess my concept is a bit controversial, you could say. Because starting off, it starts off as an emotional thing. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the business side of art, kind of have to separate the emotional aspect of being an artist and really just concentrate on the hustle of what it is to being an entrepreneur and running a business. So now it's creating with more intention. But yeah, it's definitely it's.
I get what you mean, but I want you to explain it more about at the beginning, it's the emotional connection to what you're creating. And then the more you grow, the more you have to become a business.
The more you grow, it's just you have to make tough decisions, like difficult decisions as how to price things. You go through those experiences where it's just manufacturing costs, shipping costs, things of that sort, where I feel like in the very beginning, it's difficult because there's not a how-to book on what everything costs or how to go about the process. So, once we're on that journey of figuring shit out, it's just toughens you up a bit. It removes the emotional stuff out of it.
I feel that heavy right now, especially because I'm not an artist. I'm not trying to be, but with the podcast, like I can sell sponsorship ads on it. I can make money from that. Or I can have people who offer a lot of money to come on the podcast. Like they just want the exposure, so they'll pay. But then I feel like that then ruins like
the authenticity.
Exactly, because I have people on the podcast that I want to talk to. So if I start accepting money for it, it's like,
what's up with all this stuff?
She wants to be part of the conversation too. But hi. It ruins the authenticity. But then I get to a certain point where it's like, damn, I really do need to start making money from this shit. So I get what you're saying, but it's a really hard decision that I'm going through in my life right now where it's like, all right, how am I going to make this a business without ruining the authenticity?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like a real struggle of morals.
Man, it is the main struggle of morals.
So how do you do it? Like, how do you deal with that?
School teaches you the foundation. It teaches you theory. It teaches you techniques, but it doesn't teach you how to hustle the shit. It doesn't teach you how to hustle your superpowers. And that's the one thing that you just have to develop. And for artists, it's difficult. We're locked in most of the time. It's in essence a very lonely profession because it takes a lot of hours just being in the gym, working on your jump shot. You know what I'm saying? So to break out of that and develop the social skills to go out there and really just figure out what your stuff is worth and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. I think that's the most challenging thing when it comes to being an artist, and on top of that, being an entrepreneur and selling your work.
That makes me happy to hear you say, because I'm trying to like process to say it in the right way, because I worry that if I harden myself, I'll lose the like joy and happiness that I feel like is one of my superpowers.
The charisma.
The charisma.
You're a charismatic motherfucker, bro. That's amazing.
But I feel like if I harden myself, like people piss me off and I feel like I have to apologize to them. You know, like I feel like if I harden myself, I lose that. But it's good to hear because you're a charismatic motherfucker. You're a nice motherfucker. You welcome me into your home. You don't know who, you know what I mean? Like, but you still have that street smart of what you're supposed to do. So it's like, okay, maybe it can work that way.
Exactly.
But you have to learn it.
Definitely have to learn it.
When did you realize your worth?
I think that doesn't stop, man. Like you're constantly realizing your worth. You know, the goal is to level up, to always do better. Whether it's mastering a different form, a different technique, but always just working. And as you're working, you know, I believe in the 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah.
I strongly believe in that.
Yeah, I do too.
Just to achieve mastery. And that's with whatever task you or journey you embark on. You know what I mean?
Anything. And that's why it's so hard to balance it sometimes. Cause like it's true. That's why I did 3 episodes a week and I wouldn't miss a week. And now I'm down to 2 because I'm doing comedy and I'm torn. But it's like I was doing that and it might have lowered the quality, but I was doing that because I wanted to get to my 10,000 hours. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care what people think about it. I want to be happy with what I'm creating.
Exactly.
Like it just is a cool plus that people listen to it.
Absolutely.
But then you have to find your worth. Then you're like, no, I need to make money from this shit. I can't be like living.
The cool thing now with all these social media platforms is that you're able to do multiple things and cross promote it.
I don't know the faux pas of asking artists these questions. So if it is something you can't ask, you can tell me to move on to the next question. But it was like, what was the first piece you sold? Like that you were like, damn, I can actually.
The
like,
first piece,
God damn, like I'm an artist.
Shout out to my homie Chef Ray, which at that time he went by a different name, but he's doing amazing things. I was working at a tattoo shop, and he sold 4 of my sculptures to somebody that he knew. And this is just me just fucking around. I was working at a tattoo shop. One of the owners had a little block of clay, and he was trying to make sculpt Batman. And dude, he was there for like an hour, and all he had was the two little Batman horns on this block of clay. I'm like, man, give me this shit. So I started fucking around, and 30 minutes later, it was fucking Batman. So you know, I got into sculpting, and
from that
I got into sculpting. And I watched a couple YouTube videos and picked up some clay, and I just started working. And I did these moon sculptures with the flowers blooming, blossoming from it. And he sold 4 of those at $200 a pop. So I'm just like, dude, that's amazing. Let's keep going. Let's keep the momentum going. And I started exploring other things and venturing into other things.
You didn't go out and look for any of these things that ended up bringing you to where you are now.
No, not at all. For a while, I was doing some construction work, and that's where I had a lot of the understanding of how to utilize the materials that I use in my pieces.
And it's funny because I asked you before about DMT before the podcast, and the DMT trip, the main thing I think I learned from it, and I say a different thing every podcast, so people get mad, but really I do think it just gave me the ability to just believe in just the path, the journey.
Yeah.
That like, I'm not going to go out and look for things, but I'm going to go out and look for things.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm not going to try to create my future. I'm
That's
just going to go.
So like it was already written. Your path is already written out.
Yeah. And it could be written good or bad. It's like 100 paths were written out, but I have the path to what I think is the best one.
Yeah. Interesting. It's good.
You said a lot of this came from a big mushroom trip too.
Yes. Damn, bro. It's a wild story.
I'm ready for it. I'm going to light up this joint and I'm going to listen to you talk about this wild mushroom story.
So I was with my homie Dre, my homie Dio, and Charlie. And we decided to go out to downtown Hollywood and
Hollywood, Florida.
Florida.
For people listening.
There is a Hollywood, Florida. And we went to this billiard club, decided to shroom, drop an eighth of shrooms. And we're kicking it, man. We're playing pool, and all of a sudden, these motherfuckers on the table are just glowing. And I'm like, dude, we got to get the fuck out of here. I'm feeling it. So the worst thing to do, apparently, on psychedelics is to separate from the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're supposed to stay together.
Yeah.
one solid unit, one solid hub. Like everybody just keeps everybody in check. So I went off. I decided to drive around Hollywood. This is like around 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m. And I remember I was blasting Burning Spear. Have you ever heard Burning Spear? Roots reggae.
Yeah.
Old school shit. So I'm blasting this track. And you know when the street lights hit the sprinkler systems and it creates like this rainbow effect, this prism. So I decided to open up the car door, driving on people's lawns, and I'm trying to bring all the colors into the car.
Well, you're driving on people's...
I'm driving on people's fucking lawns, bro. How I didn't go to jail that night, I have no idea, man. I'm blessed.
Great.
But
you're trying to get the rainbows inside the car.
I had to get the rainbows inside all the colors inside the car. But I had this is when shit just went bad, man. I felt like I died. I thought that how did I get here? You're questioning everything. I'm here by myself. And it turns out I was on the street that I was raised on. And this was a couple months after my mother had passed away. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm gone, if I'm on the other side, heaven is everything you love on this earth, you take with you subconsciously somewhere else. So if I'm in heaven, mom's home. Luckily, you know, my homies came out. They lived on that corner house. They came out. I was apparently butt ass naked on the street. Just running around on the street. I run inside his house. I go in his closet. I take out clothes and I throw it on. But luckily, they snapped me. They snapped me out of it.
How did you get butt ass naked? What the fuck?
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad.
No, I don't mean to laugh. It
was good bad. It's funny now, but at the moment it was just.
That's not good. Did you try to go to your childhood home?
I did.
Were there people there?
There was another family living in there.
You break in?
No.
Oh, you were just naked.
Luckily, the homies came out and they caught me on time.
Oh,
they saw the car parked in front of their house because they're parked in front of their house.
Thank God you didn't get arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Or it would have been a learning experience.
Wait, so what did you learn from this experience?
That psychedelics is nothing to fuck with. All right?
I thought there was gonna be like this big, like grand,
like epiphany. No, man. Like,
you were just
saying, no. It's not one of those stories.
So funny when you were saying it earlier. I was like, okay, he's naked. He's at what's this? What did he learn from this experience?
No, nothing. Just don't take shrooms and separate from the group.
That's why I can't do acid. Hey, that's what you learned. That's what you learned. You don't separate from the group. That's like when I took acid. Oh my God, I can't do acid.
Really?
I can't do acid.
How about like microdosing?
Nope. I've only done it once and it was a bad experience. And I feel like I need to do it again with the right people. But 8 hours just seems crazy to me.
Yeah, 8 hours is a long time.
Like shrooms, even if
shrooms is 6 to 8 hours.
It's 3 to 4.
How much are you taking?
I don't take 8s.
Okay.
I have such a low tolerance. I take like 2 grams.
Yeah, that's perfect. You just micro it out.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'll still but acid, the first time I did it, my friends and I, it was snowing and raining. Mm-hmm. And my friends and I wanted to go to a vape shop. That's when we were big vapors. And it starts kicking in while I'm in this vape shop. And I'm like, I can't be in here right now. So I go outside. It's snowing. It's raining. And I go into this like alley outside the shop. And a kid like tries to rob me.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. I'm
peeking on acid and I'm in fucking Birkenstocks and sweatpants and I'm trying to run away from him, tripping. And then we go to it was just a wild experience. And then we watched Hateful Eight. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's not a good movie.
You're doing all the wrong things.
Tripping on acid. That movie takes place in a single room where everyone hates each other. And it's just me and my 2 friends.
Yeah, no. Terrible.
Mushrooms I've done so many times.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
No, shrooms now, it's just occasionally microdosing.
Exactly. You don't need to take that.
Yeah. No.
You don't need to get naked and go run down the street.
We're older now.
It is funny that you say that because I was like, but I remember I took probably like an 8th once. It went to the beach at night with my friends and had a bonfire. And because we were at the beach, I was like, I'm at the beach. I want my shirt off. So just the whole night, I just like had everyone
You were
else's
just kicking it.
clothes, and I'm just having my shirt off, tripping on because I'm like, I'm on the beach. I
You're
have
on the
my
beach.
shirt off.
Having a good time.
So I do understand that feeling.
Yeah. I believe everybody has their own little personal rays of sunshine, bro. Do what makes you happy.
I told you, everyone on this podcast has heard my DMT story so many times. So I told you it beforehand,
that's
but like
amazing.
you had done it.
I did.
You never broke through.
I did break through. I just didn't like the taste. I didn't like the smell of it. It reminds me of
That's the funniest reason to not.
It reminds
like
me of a Payless. You ever been to Payless shows?
Yes.
It smells like that shit, bro. I don't know.
That's so funny. It does have such a distinct smell and taste. It's like burning rubber almost.
Yeah, no, not for me.
I got booked to do this Hallucinogen Festival. I thought it was a music and arts festival up in Maine. And I get up there and it's a Hallucinogen Festival.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's in this town called New Portland.
Mhm.
And they have no cops there
Okay.
in the whole town.
That's awesome.
So like everyone's smoking DMT and tripping on mushrooms. And these 3 cop cars pull up. And I'm like,
Everybody's
I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, why are you guys still doing it? The cops come out and start high-fiving everybody. And they were just friends of the guy. I'd never seen someone smoke
amazing.
DMT in front of a cop before.
Yeah, no. That's wild. where was this at?
Maine, New Portland, Maine.
Yeah. Maine is awesome.
You've been up there?
I've been up there.
Have you ever been to Cape Cod?
Oh no, I've been to Cape Cod.
You know Cape Cod?
Of course.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What were you doing up in Maine?
I've been to Portland, Maine.
Such a good art scene up in Portland.
There is amazing craftsmen up there, bro. Like I feel like they take branding, they take craftsmanship to a whole nother level up there.
So it's kind of like rap. Like I came into this with just an appreciation. Like I have no knowledge of anything beyond like, oh, this is awesome. Like I love that. So when I started getting into your stuff, you were really the first person that I enjoyed their art. And it wasn't just like, it was like sculpting. And like, I didn't even realize that was like, it's just ignorance to the form, but I didn't realize how big that was. And now it makes sense. The architect and the engineering, like, how did you get into the bullets in the heart? I'm happy people can see it behind you because you have so many different pieces of that.
So this series is called Bullets and Heartbreaks. It was just a rough time period after experiencing so much loss.
This was back.
This was back in 2000, mid 2000s, late 2000s. So I came up with this concept, just going through my dark moments. Fun fact is I blew out like maybe like a good 3-4 ovens, kitchen ovens, not taking out the gunpowder properly in these things.
Are you kidding?
So every now and then you would just hear these things popping like
a gunshot.
Yeah, like people were just shooting up the crib. And I went through a couple of ovens, man.
God damn.
Ovens, but
so you use that's a question I want.
Well, they weren't the real bullets. They weren't completely live, but they still had some
Alec Baldwining these fucking ovens.
They had some of the gunpowder residue still left in them.
That's crazy.
So
you ever get the cops called on you?
Once.
They thought there was a gunshot. Yeah.
It was a really loud bang.
That's insane.
Loud bang. So no, but it was definitely worth it. It's one of those processes that's worth it.
I get but how did you come to that? Because that's such like your thing now,
Yeah, just a dark time, man. I was experiencing going through a really depressive time. Was suicidal that time period, and this came from it. This concept came from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that pain when you create it now? Like when you work on it now?
No. I think now it's just it's empowering. It's a part of my life that tells that story, that tells that. So these are all different time periods of things that I've experienced and things that I've done throughout the artistic journey. So looking back at it now, it's just like, good job, young man. Like you did that. You overcame that.
in those moments, the dark moments in like the mid 2000s when you were going through it, were you lost? Like, do you see what you were doing now then, or because you were creating
For sure.
back then.
For sure. Back then it was more of the just therapy, mainly therapy. Occupying my mind, just staying busy. So every day I was working on something new, experimenting on something new, creating my own problems and coming up with my own solutions for these fucking problems. But I was also blessed to have a lot of amazing people. I can't say like I said earlier, I'm a one-man rocking band, but in reality, it's I'm thankful for all the people that I met along the way.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I've reached out on social media that the art has spoken to, or perhaps they were going through dark circumstances as well during that time period. So seeing the healing effect of certain art pieces has been amazing.
That's a superpower. You were talking about superpowers before, but being able to take darkness and create from it.
Yeah.
Because you can take darkness and shut down,
Absolutely.
or you can take darkness and create. And that's why I was asking if you felt lost in those moments, because even if you did, you wouldn't have been creating if you were completely lost.
Yeah, very true.
It's
I go by this quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's the circumstances don't make the man, they reveal who he is. So I took that as it could either be a sad, shitty story, depressing story, or it could be something empowering, something that changes somebody else's life.
what was sorry, what were you
No, but you're nothing without putting the work in. You know what I'm saying?
the 10th? Yeah. I always say that, like, it was funny. I was on, shout out the Danza Project. I was on a podcast, the Danza Project, last night. You can check it out on YouTube. But we were talking about like spirituality and like what our relationship to God is and whatever. And I feel like I was being unclear on it, but I just feel blessed that I have determination and passion.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's, if you can, and I've been lost. There were times that I thought I was so lazy. I wasn't determined. I wasn't passionate, but I found that. And that's like where the blessing is.
Determination is everything.
Not giving up. What can you do over a long time? Because a lot of people can do something cool for a year. But you were showing me art from when you were 23 years old, and you still talk about it with a passion. And now, I don't know if you want to reveal your age on the podcast.
No, that's cool. 37.
37,
37.
14 years to where you are now. That takes a lot of determination and a lot of belief.
Of course.
Because a lot of people can do something cool for a year, but can you do it for your life?
Yeah. No, facts.
Like,
facts. I think I'm grateful for being curious. I'm always curious. I'm always pushing my limits. I consider myself an architect before anything, as far as the analytical process. I tend to sketch things out or daydream about a certain particular project before I even sit down and work on it.
Do you still want to create? Do you still want to be an art? Like, do you still want to create buildings?
We'll see. Maybe old man Soto.
Yeah. What was when you were a kid? Did you have like what you thought your future was going to be?
Something for sure art related. It was always a passion of mine. It was always something that I was extremely good at.
Do you see where you are now? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, the hunger is I feel like I'm never comfortable. I'm never complacent. I always want to, not so much for the wealth or the fame or anything that comes with it. It's more so the freedom, the liberty,
and for yourself,
and for myself. Exactly.
But that's such a double-edged sword, isn't it? The like never being happy with what you're like, always wanting more. That's a better way to put it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the wanting more is just the I think the key ingredient to everything is just stability, right? Like it's just the stability and the freedom to be able to create what I want to create whenever I want to create it.
What was your proudest moment?
What was my what?
Proudest moment so far?
Moment. Damn, dog. That's a great question.
Bucked up podcast. We ask great questions.
Yeah. That's a great question. Proudest moment. I don't know. We're probably gonna have to circle back to that one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's been a lot of amazing little victories
Mhm.
that eventually paint the big picture, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good question.
I was asked a similar version of that question.
What's your proudest moment?
It's a lot of things added up to it, so I'm going to sound vain, but what I say it, but it's people have to realize the amount of work that went into me being officially featured on a Conway the Machine track.
Amazing.
Like he used 2 minutes of our conversation on the podcast in a song about us talking like real personal shit. Like, and I didn't even think he liked the podcast. He never shared it. He shared it once on his story after we did
That's
it.
great.
So I was kind of like, is he not? Because he shared a lot on that podcast. So I was like, oh, is he embarrassed by that? And then when he put the song out, it was like, oh no, he like respects the conversation.
Yeah, no, that's major.
And then him telling me that he sees me getting bigger than I see myself. Like that's someone I looked up to more than, like Griselda's more than
absolutely.
anyone. Like that is my proudest moment. But there's a lot. Shit. I was asked what was my favorite moment that the podcast has brought me. Someone asked me that. I was being interviewed by Harvard for their newspaper. And I know I shouldn't have told this story, but I told the story about doing mushrooms with Danny Brown. I go, when I was a freshman in high school, I brought Danny Brown's debut album to my drum teacher, and I learned to play drums from that album.
That's amazing.
So like fast forward, I'm doing mushrooms with him on Thanksgiving. And Harvard never released the article. They never. I'm still happy. That's another.
It still happened.
They still interviewed me. I still did mushrooms with Danny Brown, but that article will never come out about.
Oh, that's
me.
amazing.
Have you thought of one yet? And then I'll ask another question if not.
No. Let's keep it going.
Right.
Let's keep it going.
So the reason I asked before about going to Europe, but I wanted to is because you said you started seeing the fine art and then wanting to do your version of it. Adding the masks and the money and the Supreme. How did that idea come along?
So this is like I said, like each series represents a certain time period of the journey, right? So Children of the Trap is just paying homage to the homies, to the Children of the Trap, the time periods where I was tattooing in trap houses to be able to afford my brother's medication. So that's
how old were you?
I was 26, 27 around that time.
Wow. Tattooing in trap houses.
Tattooing in trap houses. And then, amongst other things, my brother died from HIV, from AIDS. And back in that time period, there weren't that many things in play that helped people with these illnesses.
Yeah.
So the medication was extremely expensive. So got to do what you have to do. You know what I mean? So awesome. So just paying homage to that time period of my life. That goes back to when you were saying growing up, you were told who makes money from art. Exactly.
And then you're doing what you're in trap houses tattooing to help your brother, to help the family,
Yeah, I'm grateful for tattooing. It wasn't ever something that I was extremely passionate about. It was just something that I was just good at, and it was just a means of making bread, of making a living. So I'm grateful for it.
But so the Children of the Trap, that's the time period of your life. But then, so you're going to Europe and you see the art. And when does I'm going to create? It was always, because it's a very iconic line.
Yeah, it is. It is. They're bootlegging it right now in a couple of countries in South America.
Are they?
It's doing very well. It's probably one of the. I'm grateful for this series.
You said they're
Um,
bootlegging it?
They're bootlegging everywhere. There's a barbershop in Medellin, Colombia, with all my art pieces in it. Where are they getting it from? I'm not sure, but I respect the hustle, man. I respect
How do
the
you
trap.
you're happy with it?
It's great because I'm still getting credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they know they're not buying it directly from the source, but they're still tagging me in these pieces. So it's bittersweet. It's definitely bittersweet.
Yeah.
But nah, man. It's happening. It's out there. But it was one of those series where it was the first time I did not take the book that I showed you earlier. I would take that book on all of my travels. So this time I'm like, nah, I'm a travel light. So I took the iPad Pro. I had gotten an iPad Pro, and I was just out there, man. I was having a great time. I was when I developed this piece, I was on a hammock in the Maldives. And no, sorry, I was on a hammock in Bali. Even better, right?
Exactly.
And this concept just hit. I always wanted to do the ski mask, but I always felt that it was a bit controversial. With and I've received some backlash on putting ski masks on children.
Why?
I don't know. A lot of people aren't open minded out here.
Well, you're getting backlash for putting ski masks on children.
From some people, not everybody. For the most part, I get a lot of love, but there has been a group of people that
That's crazy to me.
or putting ski masks on religious figures. I've
still
heard
crazy
that.
to
It's
me.
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Loud voices?
Nah,
Okay.
not so much.
How do you find the inspiration behind like each piece that you do for the children?
Children of the Trap. It's more of a feeling, man. It's a vibe. There's a certain aesthetic that there's just a certain time period of paintings that I always resonated with.
What's that time period?
The Baroque time period.
Why?
I don't know, man. There's just something about the technique. Something about
I don't mean to ask these, but like, what about the technique? Like
the technique. Just it's just mastery. You know what I mean? It's just a level of mastery that I feel that any artist would love to one day accomplish or reach. You know what I'm saying?
how did that go? What happened? Why did that stop? Like, why is it that time period, the Baroque?
Well, mainly also my mother used to collect a lot of antiques. So the gaudy, the intricate frames. That's where a lot of this stuff I feel that it stems from. It was a lot of that. My mother loved this type of shit, so it was all over the house. So I don't know. I guess it's subconsciously it's stuck.
That's really cool that you can. That's funny because each time period in your life is a very dark time period, and you people know that, but you've created such. I use the word iconic already, but you created from in each time period like your own different thing that's completely different from everyone else.
They're different collections,
and you could compartmentalize those into. Why do you think each hardship or time in your life that was difficult brought out a different piece?
There's a certain magic that could only be expressed through pain. That could be expressed in times of darkness. The Children of the Trap. It's a bit of both. It's almost that Great Gatsby story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do the hokey pokey to turn yourself around. You know what I mean?
I do.
So it's one of those situations where there's beauty in the grind. There's beauty in the darkness if you pay attention.
And I don't know your life now, but I'm guessing you're not going through as much pain as you were in those moments. Is it?
No, we're happy. We're happy out here, baby.
Is it hard to create without the struggle, or do you just find your muse in different ways?
You find your muse in different ways. Whether it's music, there's times where I will keep a track on replay the entire day while I'm working on a piece, while I'm working on a project. I believe that there's a lot of music out there that has that 30 seconds of pure genius.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it's just it does something. It's that shit that gives you the chills, that shit that gives you the goosebumps.
Yeah.
And you try to stretch or ride out those feelings or how that shit's making you feel at that time, whether it's and whatever creative outlet of your choice. But now it's just I feel like I've created a lifetime of work. You know, there's pieces that I want to revisit.
Yeah, you were talking about going back to your.
So I'm especially like now with everything that's going on with the NFTs.
Oh yeah, you still have to explain to me what an NFT is.
We'll try. I'll try my best. I'll try my best to explain it. But now it's just going back and revisiting all these old concepts. And you know, I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I'm still eating off pieces that I made back in 2010, 2012. Every time I re-release those do very well. So now it's just focusing on the big picture.
Yeah.
The entire collection.
Yeah.
The entire discography, you could say. I have like what's the word? Like it's just collection of art.
And now you have a freedom to do it. Now you can
Exactly.
A piece that you did in 2011, you can 3D print.
Exactly.
And you have the freedom to be able to do that.
3D print, animate, and still bring these concepts to life in other ways.
So what's an NFT?
Non-fungible token.
Yeah, everyone. It's so funny, and it's no problem. But whenever I ask people that, they always say that. And it's like, I know that. I want to know what is a non-fungible token.
It's basically a digital collectible, you could say. I think that's the easiest. A digital asset, something that could potentially appreciate in time, digitally. Yeah, that's all you're getting from me, bro. That's all I got.
All right. I guess I kind of knew that one. All right. Because I had someone say to me that it was like you put it on a piece of art. Mm-hmm. Like there's like an NFT on this piece of art or with this piece of art that whenever it sells to another person, part of that money goes back to the original artist.
Yes. Yeah. So artists will receive, I believe it's like lifetime royalties on every time the piece resells.
That's the thing that's like, that's going to change the game. I think
that's what's amazing for artists because a lot of these galleries are capitalizing off of the resale of artists.
Because once you sell this piece for a certain amount of money,
exactly,
you never get any money back from that. Every time it sells, even if it keeps selling for
unless there's like a contract in place, but like even then it's just very difficult to track.
And you said galleries get 50%.
Most galleries, most fine art galleries take 50%.
That's crazy.
Even at trade shows, like Art Basel events and different major art exhibits, they will charge artists a fee to display their work, and then on top of that, they take the percentage. So there's a lot of artists, a lot of up and coming artists out here that are just breaking even at these events, or sometimes not even breaking even, and just coming out of pocket just for exposure.
Now, is that just a monopoly on the art world?
I know a lot of the art exhibits only allow gallery representation. It's not like an individual artist can go in there and represent themselves. So to a certain extent, there is a monopoly. Now with social media, everything's direct to consumer. There's ways around it.
And that
you're cutting out the middleman.
Do you think that's, of course, with the NFTs, but do you think that's going to change? Like, do you think artists, or do you feel like it's going in the work, like it's just going to keep getting worse?
I would love to see a lot more art galleries doing more for the artist, beyond just reposting their work or posting their work. But maybe perhaps helping them out with the marketing end and promoting more of their works, not only when it's just an exhibit coming up. You know what I mean?
Is it hard to do your own gallery?
Not at all. Let me say not at all. There's a journey to it. But it depends. Like you could always have sponsors to fund events and things of that sort. You just really have to figure out in what way you want to do an event and how you're going to fund the event. Mainly.
Yeah.
Especially a city like Miami. I'm sure like up north as well. It could get very expensive.
Yeah, I actually I don't really know. I'm not sure, but it's in Miami, it's tough.
It's not tough. I feel like there's people, there's a really amazing community down here.
Oh,
that want to do cool shit.
Oh, that's good. Because you said you're originally from here.
Originally born and raised in Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
Which is just a couple minutes away from Miami. Miami is just hopping and skip away.
What do you see? Do you see like a future now? Like, do you have like plans for what you want to do, or are you still going with the flow?
There's definitely plans. There's a couple of major events that I would like to curate. That I know that it's going to take some serious production and me just letting go a little bit more as far as when it comes to developing the right team and the right production team to make something like this happen on this scale. But I've been talking about this project called The Once Upon a Crime for a very long time, which is it's a combination of the Children of the Trap and Bullets and Heartbreak series.
Oh wow, you're bringing them together.
Bringing them together for sure.
What's you said how long has this idea been in?
For years, as far as the level of production that I want to bring to the table. I want to unify all the arts, dance, music.
Do you dance?
No.
Oh. I didn't know if it was all the arts that you do.
Depends on the night.
Because if you could bust a move, I would say, let's turn this camera around, and you're gonna have to do it for the end of the podcast.
But yeah, it's definitely something that
how are you combining them?
Just throughout the event. I want it to be theatrical. I want it to be the Broadway version of what this embodies.
It's so hard to give up control when the control is the thing that got you to where you are in the first place.
Exactly. And it's I think the most challenging thing is just finding people that see the vision. There's certain visionaries out there that you could sit down and have a conversation and they see exactly what you're talking about. And then you have other people that like you explain it to them and they're just like, I have to see it. And there's a lot of those. There's a lot more of those people than.
And it's so hard because it's like you want to find people who are almost more passionate than you are,
Absolutely.
But then you're like, damn, they're probably going to be passionate about their own thing. Like they're not going to be passionate about your thing, but then you're like, but then I have to find someone who's less passionate about me to take over what I'm doing. Like it's such but then I think about businesses or anybody who's bigger. It's like they had to give up some control. Like
of course.
Every business has a fucking table of people.
But I think like any business, right? Like you go through, like you're running through people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's people that work out. There's just people that don't work out. And unfortunately, you have to weed all the bullshit out before you.
But that is all about. That's what I get now. I get more what you mean from the beginning about, and I understood it then, but about the business versus the like.
It's surrendering a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you have to surrender a lot of the emotional stuff that would work. It's just not the right time to.
How do you keep passion then? And I know we're talking about muse, but how do you keep passion then when you're like, damn, this is more of a business than like what I'm trying than like
a lot of alone time, bro. A lot of honestly, like there's days where I just wake up and I just go for walks, bro, like and just organize, and I sit there and I just write down my notes and I create my list.
List. Everyone says that they creating lists is good.
I create a good friend of mine, Sam. He told me about this thing that he does often, which is he creates his win the day list, right? Where like the night before you create everything that you want to accomplish the next day. And it doesn't matter. It could be anything that you could be just checking off your list, whether it's just like, I need to get an oil change. or anything that you're chipping away that's related to your big picture.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that is, as long as you are chipping away tasks to that greater purpose, that greater goal.
And do it the night before.
Because
the night before, you're such a better person than you are when you wake up.
You know how it is, bro. You wake and bake sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, you wake like this morning. I was like, and I'm actually so happy you pushed back the time because I was like, I'm gonna wake up. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to smoke a joint. I'm going to go get lunch at the Versace mansion.
Nice.
And
did you do it?
I ended up doing
Amazing.
it.
How was it?
It was so good. It was really, I was like, is it going to be bunk? You know, those places are sometimes like touristy but no, it's
a great time.
Great time. And I woke up and I stayed in bed till like 11. And then I texted you and then you were like, I'm running a little late. Can we push? And I was like, oh, perfect. Now I can go and actually do what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I would have been fine laying in bed. And I know that's different than like, but it feels good to go out and do shit. Like I've never been to Miami. Yeah,
you have to get the fuck out the house.
Exactly. Like Thursday, tomorrow before I leave, I'm going to go to the beach all day. Like just relax at the beach. Cause I do want to do the shit while I'm here. It's you travel. You were saying like you go to Europe, and when you go on these trips for work, you're in work mode. So you almost don't really want to like do the fun stuff, but then you're like, nah, I'm here. Why aren't I doing the fun stuff?
Exactly.
Like I'm only working for shit. If I'm doing a comedy set or a podcast, I'm only working for 3 hours the whole week.
But you worked for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
are you coming to Chicago?
You have to celebrate that shit. I'm looking up flights a minute, and then we wrap this up
for the West Side. Sure. Yeah,
that'd be amazing. I've been wanting to meet these guys for a while now.
And it's funny because I don't know exactly how I found your art, but it was funny when I found your art and then I realized you also were doing the Camino covers.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Which was awesome. And then you did a Flea cover. I
recently did the Flea cover for Pray for the Evil 3.
It's so cool.
Which comes out on the 5th or the 6th?
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, it comes out this week.
So check that out. Shout out to Flea Lord. Shout out to Me Fucks.
Yeah, there's some great Fat Joes on that album.
Yeah. There's some great features on there.
TF. Yeah. I love Lord Mob. They're all really good dudes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro.
And that's what I love about this is like, that's the music I listen to.
Yeah.
Like, and now I get to like work in that field and not even be like, oh, this is gonna sound so rude.
Are you like starstruck when you meet these guys?
Not anymore.
Like how was it in the beginning for you?
Yeah, I guess I get starstruck. I have this weird thing though where it's like as the podcast, it's like I want everyone on the podcast. Like I want to talk to everybody. Everyone cool that I like, I want to talk to. And if I talk to you, even if I like love your stuff, I have to see you as equal. Or I won't have a good conversation, or I'll just be here like, So it's like I try to see everyone as kind of like the same.
That's a great method. So like, do you do anything to like prepare yourself like mentally for this type of stuff?
No, it's like stand up, and I probably should prepare more, but I like to just be at the same state always. Like I won't not stop. If I'm smoking all day, I'm going to smoke right until I get up on stage. If I want it to be like, I don't change my energy level.
Yeah. You ride the same frequency the entire
and that's why like on the podcast, even if I smoke and it makes me dumber, like ask worse questions, I still do it because I just want to be like the same level, the same way. But I definitely do get starstruck. Yeah. Like I remember this was even before the podcast. I remember meeting Freddie Gibbs, and he kept asking me about stand-up. And I kept just going, I love Bandana. I can't wait to hear you perform freestyle shit. And he just kept asking me questions about stand-up. And I'm like, damn, I ruined that conversation. You know? But, you get starstruck?
Sometimes.
By who?
I don't know. I don't know
artists, if it's musicians.
A bit of everything. Depends. Maybe I do get socially awkward sometimes. I don't know. I have those moments where like I'll roll the joint, I'll spark up, and then I'm just like,
yeah. Do you think weed makes you more anxious or less anxious?
Way more anxious.
Everyone's like, nah, I smoke weed because I have anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this shit is why I have anxiety.
It depends. It depends on the strain. Depends on what it is. But for the most part, I don't know. I have a tendency of overthinking sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, it happens. It happens.
Last night,
the pregame
someone
jitters.
said that weed increases creativity and decreases productivity.
Nah.
You don't agree with that?
It depends. Depends on the person. I know. Me personally, I like to roll up a joint when I'm working. I feel like it increases productivity for me, especially when I have shit written down. That's a major key right there. Having shit written down.
Major key alert.
Yeah. Because if not, bro, like
you forget it. I'm so bad at writing shit down. Like I'm so bad at it. It's just something I need to kick my ass to do. And it's so dumb telling yourself that you can't do shit because that's just like, yeah, you can. Like I can't wake up early. Yeah, you can,
but especially
dickhead.
out here, bro. Like you see how beautiful it is outside?
Yeah.
It's like this all the fucking time. So there's times where it's just like, yeah, I have shit to do, but it's just like, oh,
it's so beautiful out. But like then I was walking down South Beach and you know how it's like, I'm a Boston 7, but a Miami 6. I feel like it's like I might weigh 250 in Boston, but I'm like 700 pounds in Miami. Like everyone's fucking fit, jacked. There's just hot bitches walking around.
Everybody gets love out here, bro.
Just fucking people, plastic surgeons in Miami.
How distracting is it out here, bro?
So much money.
Yeah,
they must make so much money.
They make a killing out here.
Every time I see a Lambo, I'm like, that's probably a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, facts.
Everyone got the big lips.
Yeah. It's almost it's like a fucking factory, right? Like they're all starting to look the same.
But it's also
but
like,
we love you, motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. I hate it. I hate that I like it.
I hate that I love them, bro. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Would you ever move from?
So I was considering moving to Dade, moving to Miami, to Dade County.
I mean, leave this whole area. I don't mean move like an hour away.
I wouldn't get shit done, bro. I would not get anything done.
You need to be a little bit away from the city.
Yeah. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, bro. So it's a lot less distractions up here. but
a lot
still.
Less 9s, more 7s.
More sevens. More sevens up here. No.
The tip is a 10 and it just goes, the numbers get lower the farther you move.
South Florida's special, bro. They're everywhere. So it's a great time here, but it could be very distracting.
I feel like I do like Miami a lot.
Yeah.
I got here and I was like, I'm not gonna like it.
Oh, it's a good time.
And then I really did enjoy it.
Have you hit up any of the Spanish spots
for food?
Yeah.
No. You gotta tell me where. We're
gonna make a list.
All right, perfect. Because
that's why you're so hesitant. You haven't tried the food out.
I haven't tried any good. Yeah,
but they have great food up north though.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Barcelona.
Yeah,
Miami.
Yeah, I could see that.
It gives like Barcelona vibes, and I didn't like Barcelona, so that's why I was like, I had a girl who lived in Barcelona. I had 2 girls I dated that moved to fucking Europe while dating me.
It's amazing. Are they living out there now?
No, they moved back. But I just think that's such like a.
No, that's great.
I'm not gonna say it's a me thing.
No. You're out, international player.
What's your next? Do you have anything like? What's your next?
Like endeavor?
Yeah. What's your next step? Like.
So I only I don't do that many art shows throughout the year. I usually only come out during Art Basel.
Why?
No, man. It's really like I like being in the studio. I want to get to that level where it's just like I create my own show, my own art event, and not show up to my own shit. I think that's a major goal of mine.
You don't think you're at that level?
Yeah. I feel like it could happen. It could happen. But I feel like right now it's just a lot of people would be disappointed if I wasn't there.
No, I feel you.
So maybe a couple more shows along the line. You know what I'm saying? And then I could pull an Irish exit.
Oh, Irish goodbye is my favorite thing in the whole.
I do it all the time, bro.
I'd never say goodbye to anyone.
No
you never answered who you got starstruck by.
Let me see. When I met Floyd Mayweather, that was a little different.
he's I feel like I saw that picture of you guys.
Yeah, it was he was down here celebrating his birthday. It just so happened to be my birthday.
Oh, really? You guys
So
share
it was,
a birthday?
yeah,
Shit.
so it was great. It was a good introduction to 36. And yeah, bro, meeting this guy is not easy. First, he has like 3 or 4 monsters behind him. You know what I'm saying? His
Yeah.
bodyguards. So it's just like you're not just like going up to him and shaking his hand like that.
Like, hey,
Yeah,
hi.
exactly.
Sorry, Mr. Mayweather.
Hey, it's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking, but it was awesome, man. He's a cool dude.
Do you get nervous? Like, have you ever got nervous by someone like buying your art? Like,
Yes. Funny story. I was showing an art piece at this one art show. And I just wanted to get rid of the piece. So I priced it lower than I usually would. And I met one of the composers from the band Toto. The Africa song.
Yeah.
And she was interested, bro. It was a beautiful violin piece with a bullet heart on it. And she was interested, and I created an invoice, and I just sent her the invoice, and I just sat there and waited. I waited for weeks, and nothing happened. She just disappeared. That same art piece, I decided to show a month and a half later at another art event in West Palm. And I priced it for something ridiculous. Like I priced it ridiculously high, just for shits and giggles.
Oh, ridiculously high. I thought you were like, I'm 250.
Yeah. No. Like in Miami, it was like I priced it at like 3,000. And then West Palm, I priced it for like 16,000. 16,000. It was funny because I was displaying with this art gallery who had a couple Warhols, had a couple Banksies, had a couple major artists in the game. They were displaying some of their pieces there. And the first day of the convention, everything was great. Red dots everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm there, nothing. None of the brokers wanted to sell my shit. They thought my prices were too high. They're just like, especially for a no-name artist. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's encouraging. But day 2 passed by, nothing. Day 3 passed by, nothing. Last day of the event, I said, fuck it, bro. These brokers don't want to sell my shit. I'm gonna sell my shit. Right. So I suited up. I went down to the convention. There was this older couple who was peeping the violin piece. And I just said, fuck it. I'm just gonna go up to them and introduce myself, start a conversation, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
They told me they had just gotten there. They loved the piece. They were asking questions. We were just shooting the shit. They said that they were going to look around the gallery or look around the convention center and come back. An hour passed by. End up coming back. The old man leans in. He's just like, hey, young man, would you take 14 for it? I said, fuck yeah, I'll take 14 for it. Fuck yeah, I'll take 14,000 for it. And it turned out this gentleman was one of the owners of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh shit! Hey,
yeah. Shout out to Pittsburgh. But yeah, man. So stories like that where it's just
that's all. I was like, the whole time I was like, he got excited by the girl from the composer from Toto. I mean, I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
But
that was all right.
Crazy.
But it just goes.
And you sold it for 14. Like that.
Sold it for 14. So wow. It's one of those situations where it's part of the game. It's realizing it's not only just being talented or creating dope shit. It's product placement. It's what do you want to make?
And it's the artist behind the art. Like
exactly.
The brokers can't sell it like you can.
After that happened, all the brokers were around my shit trying to sell my shit.
Because that's how it works,
and
right?
That's exactly
how it works. They're like, but so, it's like
unfortunately.
Yeah. And you still have to give.
They were trying to take 50%. And I'm like
you didn't do shit. Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. The best I could do is like, I'll break you guys off something just for allowing me to be here. But yeah, it's not going to be 50.
Another question that I don't know if you're allowed to ask. What's the most you've sold a painting for?
It's up there. It's up there, bro.
All right.
Yeah. It's It's just
No matter what the number is, the reason I asked that is and I really am obsessed with like how you see yourself at times in life versus how you see yourself now. As me being 24, and I always am like, oh, where am I gonna be?
Yeah.
And so years. So you sell a painting with it's up there, and you go back to that plane where you got upgraded to first class, and you give away the painting, and the chick's like, how much is it? And
I just hope
like,
she knows now that shit's worth something. It's definitely worth something now.
That must be a cool feeling.
It's a great feeling. Every now and then you have
to yourself. Do you feel like you've proved to yourself that you can do it at this point?
Absolutely. I've always had the mindset where even in the beginning, like when I sold my first piece for $35.
You sold your first piece for 30.
One of the first pieces for 35. So when you look back then, and I talk to my old man all the time about this shit, and he always
is he an artist? Does he have?
No, he's an attorney. He's an immigration attorney. He's did the hokey pokey and he turned himself around. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Oh yeah, I have to hear about why he was down in Colombia. That's
another conversation.
All right, a whole other conversation. All right, next time in Chicago, you can tell me.
I'm always in Chicago. Chicago. So I'm always down in Colombia. I'm always down there creating. My father lives out there. My sister lives out there. With my stepmother. So that's my main support group. Every time I'm out there.
Do you spend a lot of time down there?
I do. I tend to go out there every other month.
Oh wow!
Yeah, every other month.
The rapper Crime Apple?
Yeah, I haven't worked with him yet, but Crime Apple, man, please hit me up.
I'll try to put you guys in touch because he always goes down there.
Yeah. He's always. I know he's always in Cartagena and Medellin.
Yeah.
He's always working on projects out there. So yeah, it would be great to connect with him.
Do you create when you're down there?
Of course. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a different source of energy when you're down there?
Absolutely. Because I always go to Bogota, Colombia. And its nickname is La Nevera, which is the refrigerator. So it's cold. It's cold year round. So it's I get to experience I guess winter out there in the mountains. Florida's flat, so we have to.
Oh
drive.
Yeah, you don't get
We have to drive 20 minutes out to see something scenic. But out there, man, I'm up in the mountains and I just disconnect and just lock in.
That sounds. It is something about nature. That's when I think about like moving to a city. It's like I live where in 10 minutes I can be in the woods on a mountain.
Yeah.
I ride my bike. Like
you have that balance.
Yeah. I love that. I grew up in like the nature and shit. And I lived in cities too, but like, I like the nature. I like feeling disconnected.
No, down here, it's dope. It's loud.
Yeah. We were talking about social media and shit. And I love social media and I love everything that it's done for me and created. But like, I also do wish I didn't have to promote shit. I wish I could have like a flip phone or at least for like a month. You know what I mean? But I feel like I can't take any time off. At least now. I'm at the point in my journey now is I can't take any time off.
Eventually it will happen, bro. Like you're fucking crushing it.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
And like you said earlier, determination is everything. So you're out in South Florida right now, fucking doing your thing, like working on your passion. That's fucking amazing. And
I'm saying this for people listening no one listening thinks this, but like people who think like, oh, it's all fun and games. So I get back at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I get back at 1 a.m., have to drive an hour and a half home. And then 3 hours later, we drive 15 hours straight to Chicago.
Amazing.
But that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
and it's what you're talking. That's why you tattooing in a trap house to support your brother, get your brother's medication. It's like, if you really love something, that's the determination. That's the passion. You'll do anything
by any means necessary.
Yeah. And if you don't feel that about something, then find what you do feel that about.
Exactly.
Because you will, I promise you feel that about something. You might not even know what that is yet, but everyone has,
Of course.
everyone has that. You said superpower. Talk to Billy Esco about everyone has a superpower, but
Yeah.
you just have to find that shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And nurture it.
Nurture and care for it.
It's beyond just finding it. Like
Because there's
it's
so
really
many
just
paths
nurturing.
you can go off and
course.
ruin it. Yeah.
Like especially like with art, right? It's one of those things where it's everything's art now, bro. Like marketing campaigns, every major company
everything
has an art department or a creative department. So it depends on what realm of the spectrum you want to prosper in, right? But it definitely branches off into so many things. But going back to determination, bro, like people don't see you taking the flights and packing your equipment with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just for that big picture.
Yeah. But I do love it.
Yeah.
Because then in the end, no one can say I didn't do that shit.
Exactly.
In the end, when I look back at my story, I can say no one can say I didn't work hard for it. And that's to me what's most important.
And the experience you're gaining from
And
it.
to me, I say I worked hard for it. I actually can prove, and you should be able to say that for yourself too.
Of course. I feel like now it's just the goal and it's our duty, right? Like moving forward, and as we get older and wiser in our industries, it's to be able to take the roles of sitting down and consulting with younger people that it will get to a certain point where like you can identify who's hungry and who isn't. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I finally feel like I can do that now. And it's so fun. Like this dude was like, you've only been doing it for 2 years and you got all this shit. I've been doing my podcast for 6 years and I don't know. Yeah. He was like kind of talking shit. You know what I mean? And I had to be like, all right, but that's why I meant you go back to, you've been doing it forever. You've been always, it's like at 16, I was pushing. At 16, I was doing the
shit they don't see, the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah. They just see the moment of.
You've been in the gym working on your jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Like they never see that shit, bro.
Yeah.
They don't see that. So,
but thank you for doing this. And thank you for like, you're a big inspiration and it's an honor to sit down and do
likewise,
this.
my brother.
So
I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Hopefully I will see you in Chicago.
Yeah. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
We're definitely
figure it out. Thank you guys for listening again. Oh shit. This was the view they got on my legs. Again, I apologize.
It's good, bro. You're showing hella thigh.
I mean, I'm showing hella thigh. I didn't even realize. That's the first time I looked. This is a great podcast that no one will watch because I showed so much thigh.
That's amazing. We're going to the beach soon, man. We're gonna go out here and get a tan.
Ani, you want to promote anything before we go?
Yeah, check out my website, animushmedia.com. You can check out my art there. I've been following Soto for so long. He's a huge inspiration to me. So definitely check his shit out before you check mine out. And then check out everybody on Too Much Content too. Plug them. Peace.
That's so funny. He was like, is she talking? Because I was just looking at the camera because I have headphones on. But thank you. Everyone go check out Ani Mush's stuff, her store. Everything. Amazing artist, amazing podcast producer.
Yeah. She's
love Too Much Content. Where can people find your shit?
Just at Soto, SOTO, and then www.childrenofthetrap.com for all the merch and apparel, and stay tuned for new releases. Shout out to Fleet Lord and Me Fucks. They're going to be dropping Pray for the Evil 3 this week. Shout out to Hollywood. Shout out to the homies, Stray Rebel, Will, Sam, Disco Matt. Adrian, what's good, baby? Yeah, man, everybody. Shout out to my pop. Shout out to my little sister. The whole fam, bro. I appreciate you for
I appreciate you.
Annie, thank you.
Hell yeah, one of my favorite living artists. Thank you.
She said one of her favorite living artists. Thank you. So
thank you.
Bye, everyone.